Hello, and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this match reaction video. It has finished Leicester City 1, Arsenal 3, goals from Pepe, Luiz, and Lacazette, not in that order, for Arsenal, and of course, Leicester taking the lead early on with a goal from Tillemans. But what does this mean for Arsenal in terms of the season? Their best route to Champions League football is through winning the Europa League. So while this result takes them up to ninth, above Tottenham, who have just kicked off in their game at home to Burnley, this result could have massive implications for the race for the top four, and of course for Arsenal's season. They want to keep building momentum. They want to win the Europa League, but they want to finish in a respectable position in the Premier League. And around Christmas time, before that 3-1 win at home to Chelsea, they looked dead and buried. So, fair play. They've shown a lot of character. Still, a lot of inconsistency in their performances, but today I thought Pepe played really well, and I thought Partey and Xhaka in midfield had total control of midfield, and Arsenal running out 3-1 winners, and deservedly so, against a good Leicester City team. Both teams played on Thursday night as well, so both teams, both sets of players would have obviously been tired, but Arteta made multiple changes. Didn't start with Aubameyang, who you think, well, that's their main goal threat. He got a hat trick recently, but no, he chose to start with Lacazette, Willian, and Willian had a really good game today. And I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you have to be positive after that result. Yes, it's been a really poor season in the Premier League. Out of the FA Cup to Southampton, you dropped out of that, and of course losing to Manchester City in the manner that they did at home was really poor. But I think they've got around, I think it's 12 games left in the league. So if they can build on this performance, take these performances and this momentum into the Europa League, then who knows? Arsenal could find themselves in the Champions League next season. It's a tall order. It's a big ask, but based on what I've seen today, there is enough there for them to finish at least top six in the Premier League, and will they will be a threat to anyone that comes up against them in the Europa League, because that's where their better performances have been this season. So fair play Arsenal, 3-1 winners today at Leicester. As for Leicester, they lost Maddison before this game, of course. Then they lost Harvey Barnes. Losing those two players, so much happens through those players. I'm a big fan of Harvey Barnes. I think he's had an incredible season so far, but it didn't look good when he was being stretchered off in the game. Vardy looks a little bit off it. I think it's 1 goal in 12 now. 1 goal in 12 for Vardy. Maybe he's still nursing an injury. And Leicester were just not at the races today after such a good start to the game. Then, of course, another loss. They lost Johnny Evans to injury. He went off. So Leicester, like a lot of teams, really struggling with injuries. And to lose Barnes and Maddison and now Johnny Evans, who's been one of their best players this season. Johnny Evans is all his experience of his time at Manchester United. He knows what's required to win. I think he demands it of the players around him because he's played at that level. So to lose three key players is going to have a massive impact on Leicester's push for the top four. I put a poll up on Twitter. It's still going 100% so far that Leicester will make the top four, and good luck to them because they have had another really good season. For me, I've sure I've said in previous videos that I think they've lacked the same energy as last season, but they are currently joint second in the league, the third in the league. Say it's joint second. Some people say third, whatever. But so this doesn't mean that they're having a bad season, but I think it must be and it should be a concern if you're a Leicester City fan to see these players, these injuries stacking up. This is why, for me, those games in the Europa League and the Champions League should have been just one leg, one game, one tie knockout, and when you get to the semi-finals, you have a 2-leg semi-final. That's, to me, that's would have really been more it would have been beneficial to to players, to staff, to people involved in the game. And I just think it would have been better, and it would have added a level of excitement. But beyond excitement and entertainment, I just think in terms of like for the players, for health and fitness, the health and well-being, I think like those second leg games shouldn't have occurred. They shouldn't be occurring in Europa League, Champions League, in a lot of competitions. To be fair, this season, just have just have the one game, a knockout, and then you give your players a few days off and maybe play them on a Wednesday. I said it before. Why did Spurs get to play their game on Wednesday and Leicester and Arsenal and other teams had to play their game on Thursday? That is a real question that no one can seem to answer, and I can't find the answer, and I'm still waiting for someone to give me the answer. But it's a hammer blow for Leicester today. You know, I suppose the only saving grace is that Manchester United are playing Chelsea later. So, if those two teams drop points, then it's sort of a let off and just a bad day at the office for Leicester. But of course, it could define their season really. This result and these injuries that they're picking up because as I say, losing one key player, two key players, three key players in your squad, and when Jamie Vardy is suddenly, I still don't think he's 100% fit. As I say, 1 goal in 12 now, so he's off the pace, and people like Barnes and Maddison are so integral to the way that team plays. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Leicester is still in the FA Cup. That's still to play for. And they've got Manchester United in the FA Cup in a few weeks' time. But there are no real gaps between games. And maybe that's the saving grace. They wanted to win the Europa League, but they're out of that now. So when everyone else is playing in Europe, they get that rest. So maybe that'll benefit them. But I don't know how long Maddison and Barnes are going to be out for. I don't know how long Evans is going to be out for. It didn't look as serious as the Barnes one. But this result has had, or will have, or could have, however you want to term it, this could have a massive impact on the race for the top four. If Manchester United or Chelsea can pick up 3 points later, then Leicester, I think, are in trouble. And they had a difficult time. I think it was 3 wins in the last 13, 14 games of last season, and they fell out of the Champions League. I mean, the top four, and obviously they took it to the last day of the season where they had to win that game, and it didn't happen, and they don't want to be in that position. So is it an opportunity missed today? There's no shame in losing to Arsenal. They're still a big club, and I thought they were worth the win today. As I say, I thought Xhaka and Partey played really well, and to go to Leicester, having made all of those changes and to win 3-1. You have to give Arteta credit, even if you're a critic of his, even if you don't like the way he sets his teams up. You have to give him credit for going there and come from behind and score 3 goals against a very good Leicester team when you're not in the best form in the league yourself. Well, as I say, fair play, got to give him credit, and that'll be a huge boost for Arsenal. And of course, Tottenham just kicked off against Burnley, as I mentioned before. If Arsenal could finish above Tottenham, what does that say about Tottenham? When Arsenal were in the doldrums before that game against Chelsea on Boxing Day, they looked in real trouble. Now they look sort of comfortable in the league, just comfortable. But where do they go from here? And where do Leicester go from here? Some big questions are going to have to be asked now of this team. They're going to have to do something. Because to lose, as I keep saying, to lose 2 and then 3 of your best players that have been performing at a really high level this season, that have taken you into the top 4 on the brink of Champions League football, to lose those is just a hammer blow. So I don't know what the answer to that is for Leicester, but it has finished. Leicester City 1, Arsenal 3. Thank you so much for watching this match reaction video. If you haven't done so already, why not subscribe, leave a like, and of course leave any thoughts, comments and feedback that you have on the video, because all that good stuff just helps me when I'm creating future content. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.